Hi everyone and welcome to this week's midweek market update from Smack the Markets for Wednesday the 5th of August. So let's see how everything's looking at this stage of the week. In the background, the news again is more or less Chinese tensions with the US. That's still going on. We also have disagreement on the fourth stimulus package in the US between the Republicans and the Democrats. They were hoping to get it this week. It looks like it's more likely to be next week at this point. And also we had a light news schedule on Monday and Tuesday, but that's about to change today. We have a much more packed schedule today. We also have employment numbers coming out of the US today, tomorrow, and the big item on Friday, the non-farm employment numbers, which are very highly anticipated, and the President Trump already indicating he's expecting big numbers on that. And also tomorrow we have an interest rate decision from the Bank of England. So quite a busy end to the week this week. So we took a look at a few markets on Monday, and if we just take a look at them and see where they are at this stage of the day, we'll start with the Dow Jones. So this one, it was somewhere around here on Monday when we took a look at this last. We had levels to the bottom side. If it broke that 26,200, we were expecting further rally to the bottom side, and if it broke this 26,500 and the 26,600, we were saying that 27,000 would be tested then. So we can see what happened. It didn't get any lower at that point. It continued higher. It broke through the 26,500 and 600 mark, and now it's only a few points shy of that 27,000 area. So if we just look at 27,000 on the higher time frames on the weekly chart, we can see how strongly it was rejected 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago. So very strong rejections. It's coming very close to it now, only about 70 points away from it this time. So again, a big decision to be made here. And if it can manage to get through that, then the next real level is 28,000. So an interesting level coming up on the mini Dow. Also on Monday, we took a look at oil. So this was beginning to grind lower on Monday. It was somewhere around here, just knocking around that $40 level, that big level on this chart. Didn't manage to get any lower. It started rallying actually, and it continued up to that $41 mark and eventually got through that $42 mark just today. So if we just look at 42, we can see on the daily chart there, that does contain most of the price action to the bottom side, and it's just broken out through today. We also have that nice window up to the $50 mark. That's the next big level on this, and that would also close that gap from March. So we're stalking this to the long side, and if we get an opportunity above that $42 mark. After that, then we were mostly basing a lot of the stalking list on dollar weakness. So some of the better ones on Monday were the likes of the dollar yen and the dollar Singapore dollar. So if we take a look at what happened to dollar yen, we can see that this had broken out last week, came back and retested the breakout level on Monday, rejected it very nicely, but hasn't really got going any lower yet. It's more or less grinding sideways. I think it's broken the daily low, but just about. But when we come down to the lower time frames, we have this kind of a level here, 105.50, and if we can get below that and that pivot, that should open things up on this a little, and we'd expect further dollar weakness on that one. The other one we mentioned was dollar versus Singapore dollar. So this one was just around about here when we spoke about it. So this one did break through that 137.50 area, and it did close the window almost to the point down to that very precise level of 136.90. So it's just a few points shy of that at the moment as well. So we're going to assess this again when it gets there and see if there is a bounce or will it break through or change our bias. So another dollar market that we looked at on Monday and we managed to get a position on was the euro dollar. So we managed to get a position here on the 8-hour chart, and that has reached its target already. But another euro market that's looking very similar that's on our list today, and we're stalking this, is the euro yen. So if we just take a look at this on the weekly for a start, we can see that we're in this nice window here between 124 and 126. It's about halfway through it now. It just got into it there last week, and coming down to the lower time frames, the daily time frame, we can see that this is in a trend now, pulling back and moving on nice and uniformly, but we are at the highs here on the 4-hour chart now. So that on the lower time frames is very close to that 125 level. We also have a daily pivot there. So if we can get through this area, we're going to be looking for further positions long on the euro yen. So that's about it from us this week. I hope it helps, and we'll be back Monday and we'll see how the markets are looking at that point.